Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I need to be 100% honest with all of you. I listed Sparky for sale for like 2 days the other week. I don't think I've really told a lot of you on video or really relayed this out into the world, but I've been really stressed out this summer, and it kind of finally came to a head now that I'm going back to school. If you've been watching my Instagram, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for the rest of you, I figured that instead of kind of standing outside here behind Meyer, we haven't done a Sunday drive in a little while, and I figured let's go ahead and hop in the car and I will discuss everything when we are on the road. Guys, we haven't done a Sunday drive in a little while. I've been slacking on the Sunday drive series, been busy with a lot of other stuff, but I'm kind of glad to get back to our roots. That is kind of what started this channel after all. To get into the video, I had this car for sale for $10,500. You may have seen it on the Facebook Marketplace or any of the BMW Facebook pages. Oh, that sounds incredible. You may have seen it for sale on those pages. A lot of people thought it was low, but I thought given the mileage and everything this car needed, it doesn't need a lot, but there's just a bunch of little things that have kind of added up that I feel it hurts the value of the car. It doesn't really affect it anyway, but it just makes it cost less, right? Because it's stuff that does need to be done. But I do want to break this video up into 3 parts. Part 1 is going to be, why did I list the car for sale? You know, what prompted this whole thing? What's really been going on, right? Part 2 is going to be, why did I ultimately not sell it, right? What changed? And then part 3 is going to be, what does this mean for YouTube? Now, I know it sounds really grim, but I can assure you guys that there's actually some really good news, so just bear with me here. So to kind of start off with part 1, why did I list the car for sale? What's been going on this summer? So this summer, I kind of mentioned to you guys I wanted to start that detail business, and I did start the detail business, and I've been running it. But unfortunately, business was not really doing as well as I had hoped it would. Given the state of the economy, and the uncertainty of everything, it's kind of been hard to sell people on ultimately what is a luxury service. So I've been a little bit broke the whole summer. Pair that with the car having a lot of issues, it really kind of added up, and it was really stressing me out. I'll be honest, the entire summer I've been super duper broke, and I don't mean this as like a oh help me out, that's just how it's been. Fortunately, I now know the issue with the car, but it's been very stressful, and it wasn't really a fault of me or my business partners or whatever. It just wasn't the season for detailing, which is okay. You know, you win some, you lose some. But with that, between starting a business and working on this car and spending money on parts and everything, I've been spread razor thin. I have not had any time I had to fix this car. It was like, oh crap, it's running like garbage. I gotta fix it up to get to my next detail job. And I was also so broke at some points. It wasn't like I just didn't have a little bit of money. It's like I was deciding between, do I buy this car part or do I pay for gas to get to my next detail job? Like, it was really bad. So where am I going with this? Well, I was out late one night and I was trying to go see the Northern Lights, which happened, I don't know, a week or 2 ago now. I wanted to go see them, want to get some photos, shoot like an Instagram or YouTube short, whatever. And I was out at like 2 a.m. for 30 minutes, and it got really dark. I mean, it was already dark, but it got really late, and I was like, all right, I'm going to call this in. I went to go turn around in a neighborhood, and I was going to roll up under the curb, and I was trying to, back out. And there was a fire hydrant I didn't see that was hanging over the curb, and I busted up the rear bumper. I kind of rolled into it at probably like, I don't know, 5 miles an hour or something. Chipped it. It sounds kind of stupid, but on top of that, I broke a brand new phone, which was, oh boy, merging in Michigan traffic. Crisis averted with traffic. But yeah, I broke a brand new phone. I do have protection on it, like a warranty, but it's like a $250 deductible, right? So like it's not nothing. And I finally realized, I came to the realization, and I had an idea in my head that if I sold this car, all my money trouble would be solved, right? I have a bunch of money. I don't need a car for college. Everything's fixed. But that's a very flawed point of view and a very flawed logic. The thing is, I would be selling this car. Well, I don't need to sell this car, which is why I ultimately didn't end up selling it. Moving on to part 2 with that is that I realized that that's a very flawed logic. The logic of, there's the one thing in my life, I get rid of it, everything else fixes itself. That's never the case. It's a combination. Pair that with, I still like this car, and I know that if I sell it, I will buy another one. It doesn't really make a lot of sense because I'm not in a dire need. I need to give an honest thank you to everyone on social media that reached out to me and all my friends that kind of talked to me about it. A lot of people gave me their opinion. I'm not the first high schooler to go into college and then realize in college, like, oh crap, I can't afford this car, right? So a lot of people gave me their opinion, and I think the general consensus was, if I need to sell it, you know, that's the right choice to make. I can always pick up with another one later, but everyone told me that if I sell it and I don't need to, you know, I'm gonna start over and I'm gonna be in it more money in the long run, and I will regret it forever. And I did a lot of thinking about it, and I think they were right. I listed this car for sale out of frustration and not out of an actual need or want to sell it. I was just really upset with the fact that I kept working on it and working on it and working on it, and it just wasn't getting fixed. Pair that with one night where I'm like, oh shoot, I just damaged the car and dropped my phone. It was a breaking point for me. I finally realized I've had enough. Something needs to change. So what I ultimately ended up doing, I asked my mother, and bless her heart, she's allowing me to keep my car at her house while I'm at school. I'm probably gonna drop it there around Thanksgiving, and I'm just gonna leave it there until probably March of next year once the winter's over. I think I need the time to kind of reflect and get a savings going, because I've also been spending all my money on this car. I need to get a savings going, and I want to have a little bit of a threshold so that if something does break, I'm not immediately stressed over it, like counting pennies to fix this car. That's not a good way to own a German car. Barely affording a European car, a classic car, is not affording the car at all. And that's ultimately where I am right now. I can't afford this car. Fortunately, I don't need a car, which is why I'm able to store it and hang on to it. I kind of touched on this in my 2 years, $20,000, 20,000 miles, the ownership review of this car. Link up here if you want to see that. Where I kind of went over, you know, how much money I spent on this car and like the amount of my ownership experience of a high mileage BMW. So if I needed a daily, I probably would sell this car. I'd be very sad about it, but I think I was fair with the pricing and everything, and I'd be okay if I sold this car. I would find another car, pick it up again with YouTube, right? I love making videos for you guys. This is something I enjoy doing it, and I love that you guys get enjoyment out of these. I mean, the whole point of YouTube videos is for entertainment. And knowing that you guys watch these videos and get a kick out of them, it really means a lot to me. Moving on to part 3, and that is going to be what is next for the YouTube channel. So if I'm going to store my car during the winter with the YouTube channel, I think the videos, obviously, I'm going to school, so they're going to slow down a lot. I'm kind of disappointed, but I need to start compartmentalizing my life, and that kind of starts with cutting things out. As the old tale goes, you can do everything, just not at once. I'm not leaving YouTube forever. I love doing this. Guys, we have almost 250 subscribers. That's a lot of people. There are 250 of you that watch these videos. Like, I'm awesome. We did this, guys. We're not there yet, but we're almost there. You know, more and more of you watch these videos every day. It helps me keep going. It's a good motivation for me. So with that, I'm not going to quit making videos. They are going to have to slow down a lot. Unfortunately, I won't be able to keep doing weekly uploads. And I am probably going to make a couple more videos with this car before the summer ends. The issue with the car ended up being a cracked valve cover / warped valve cover. I'll also link the video up here. We did a valve cover gasket in the spring, and we noticed there was a warpage. It was very small, and we're hoping that we can throw it back together and be okay. And it was okay. But I think the issue ultimately ended up being a multitude of things, and I think the valve cover might have been okay, but then something else failed, and pair that with vacuum leak from the valve cover, the car was no longer able to compensate for it, if that kind of makes sense. So I am kind of on the hook for $450 genuine BMW valve cover, because I don't really trust any used ones. Anyway, we're getting a little bit sidetracked. At the start of this summer, we set out with a lot of goals, a lot of plans, a lot of things we wanted to do, and we did a lot of them, but not all of them, and that's okay. We did our first track day with Sparky, and we named Sparky after 2 years, which is long overdue, which is super fun. We did a bunch of driving, and we did a bunch of summer maintenance projects, learned a lot. Well, the summer didn't really go as planned. It was definitely still fun, and it just leaves more to look forward to next summer. I can't stress enough how much it meant to me, a lot of you reaching out. And all of you that watch these videos, I really don't know if I'd have the guts to keep this car if it wasn't for all of you. It means a lot. We are almost at 250. Maybe before the end of the year, we'll be at 250. We'll see. Plenty of exciting things to look forward to. There will for sure be more than one video more extra before the year is out. But with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry to kind of leave you guys hanging for a while. There was a lot going on in my life, and I'm in a very transitionary period. So YouTube did kind of have to go on the back burner for a little bit, but I'm really excited for what the rest of the year holds and for next summer. I think that we have a lot of exciting things to look forward to. I need to keep remembering to say this, but like, subscribe, and comment down below. It helps the YouTube algorithm. If you are new here, you should subscribe. There's a lot going on. We got a lot planned. Too many video scripts I didn't get to act out, but that's for later. I will catch you guys in the next one.